Welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway for opening weekend of the 2019 season. We're in car with Bryce Aaron in his first ever F1600 race weekend. As you can see behind me, a very large field of open wheel cars showed up here in South Florida for this opening weekend from the SCCA Majors Tour. Formula Fords, Formula 2000, Formula Atlantics, lots of great open wheel action on tap. We have Dario Cangialosi, the F1600 champion from last season, moving into Atlantic for the 2019 season, as well as Bryce Aaron and Daniel Benchmel in their first ever SCCA race weekends in Formula 1600. Before we get to the race action, let's sit down and talk to a couple of the Cahill drivers from Homestead Miami.
I'm sitting here with Dario Cangialosi and Bryce Aaron, 2018 F1600 champion moving into Atlantic, and the newest F1600 driver, Bryce Aaron. So guys, how's the weekend going? I mean, I know you jumping into the Atlantic first time at a race, right?
No, this was my second race.
Okay, all right. So you're on the pole.
First,
you were doing all right.
New car though for me. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what do you think, man?
Well, I think it's going pretty good. We've been pretty quick. I qualified on pole by almost a second, so I think the racing should be pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully I'll be able to pull away.
Definitely transitioning those skills over pretty easily, I guess. It's not a big deal to.
I'm having a pretty good time in the Atlantic. Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah,
pretty easy to me.
You know, and it's a good day for it. You know, it's not, you don't have to deal with cold or rain or anything. It's 85 down here. You know, yeah. So, well, how about you, Bryce? What do you think about your first ever SCCA race weekend, man?
It's going really well. It took me a little bit to get used to the track, but I mean, we're running top 5, and top 5 without draft, and I think pace-wise, we're probably the fastest out there. So it's really going to come down to the race because it's really good competition. Top 5 are close, so it's gonna be a battle.
That's good, man. So what do you think about Homestead? Do you like it down here?
I really like it. The weather's nice. The track's great. It's really fun.
85 degrees on January 2nd. Not a bad way. 3rd or 4th, whatever it is now. Not a bad way to live, right?
Not bad. Better than Chicago.
Better than PA.
Yeah, better than Jersey.
Better than Jersey, right? Yeah. Daniel's the only one here. Our other driver will join us in a minute who actually lives down here in Palm Beach. He's like, this is normal for him. So he's, just the normal guy. So guys, what do you like? What's the plans for this year? I mean, you're going to run Pro Series. You're running Pro Series,
yes.
But what's beyond that? I mean, what do you guys? Somebody's watching this and they're like, well, where are these guys going to end up in 3 years? What do you think?
Oh, I mean, this year I'm running the Atlantic car just to get a lot of seat time in the faster, high horsepower car with a lot of downforce. So my goal next year would either be to right now run LMP3 or to move up into higher level open wheel racing.
All right. So that's man. You got kind of diverging past there. You got to make a decision at some point, right?
Yeah. I'd love to stay in open wheel. I mean, I love racing open wheel cars. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But I see there's a lot of opportunity in the sports car side.
Oh yeah, a lot of opportunities over there for sure. A lot more rides available. You get 4 guys per car. It's a little easier to find a slot than when there's one.
It also makes the racing a lot cheaper too.
Yep. But you heard that. Roger, Chip, you guys. He still wants to stay open wheel. So come take care of this kid. So what about you, Bryce? Where are you headed, man?
I mean, I really want to do the IndyCar series, and do the Road to Indy, and hopefully, this year the end goal would be to win the championship in 1600, and hopefully win the shootout to get me started on that whole Road to Indy program. But yeah, that's the goal, to get there one day.
Well, there you go, man. You're in the right place. You got to do the shootout this year.
Yeah, it's a great experience.
That's you and Tyler went over there, and that was a good time.
Unfortunately, I didn't win it, but I learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of great people.
Well, and just being chosen for that.
He may not have won the shootout, but he did go back-to-back in his first ever Atlantic weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Congratulations, Dario, on 2 wins for 2 races in 2019. Congratulations also to Bryce Aaron in his first ever race victory in his first ever SCCA weekend. Daniel Benchmel had a wild ride and sent us this amazing little clip he created from his excursion off track at F1600. Following Homestead, it was time for drivers to jump on over to Sebring for the first SCCA Hoosier Super Tour event of the year. Joining us for this weekend, Mike Jacques jumped in that silver number 54 Atlantic, and Flynn Lazier joined us in the black Mazda Motorsports Atlantic. Joining the team in F1600 for the weekend was John LaRue, getting back in a Formula Ford after a few years out. Also joining Cahill for Sebring at SCCA Hoosier Super Tour weekend, Lee Braheen in that amazing Benetton painted up P1 car. Lee said he hadn't been in a car in about a year, and he's definitely shaking off the cobwebs. Said he had a blast driving that car. Can't wait to get back behind the wheel again. Before we go on to the races, let's sit down and talk to a couple of the Cahill drivers.
What's your favorite vacation place to go, man? Where do you want to go?
See, the thing is, I'm weird with vacation. I like relaxing. If I relax, I like to be at home. But if I like getting out of the house, it's either at a racetrack. So this is fine with me, Sebring.
It's funny. You ask race car drivers what their favorite vacation is, and you'll always get,
I don't know about you. I'm going to say always, and he's going to tell me something like the beach. But 99% of the time, you're going to get a racetrack, or I'd like to go visit Le Mans and walk around, or I want to go check out Monaco when it's an off weekend. Or it's always centered around racing somehow in most cases, and that's, are you going to prove me wrong here, or are you the same kind of way? Or?
Not really, because as I say, my favorite vacation spot's probably going to Italy. But that's
okay. But what were you doing in Italy?
Racing.
Exactly. South Guardia, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, karting. Like, what's my favorite vacation? Karting in Italy. You see that it's all about racing. That's all they're thinking about. Like you say, he spends an hour a day on iRacing when you're home, and he's getting an engineering degree. So if racing, you can always have a career in motorsports some way or another.
Things were said and done. It was a phenomenal weekend for Cahill Motorsports drivers. Dario Cangelosi adding to his podium finishes, going back-to-back at the SCCA Hoosier Super Tour to take home more points, getting ready for this season. And Bryce Aaron knocking down lap times again. One of the fastest lap times of the weekend in F1600. Both drivers gearing up for that FRP Pro Series. Next up for Cahill drivers at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, February 7th through the 10th for the SCCA Hoosier Super Tour. Never miss another minute of on-track action. Follow Cahill Motorsports across social media at Cahill Motorsports. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Dustin Hodges for Cahill. We'll see you in just a few weeks from Austin, Texas.